Am I the only one that felt a little underwhelmed by the Peacemaker season finale? Look, James Gunn is trying to set up everything for the DCU. There were some really good moments in there, but overall, I kind of walked away a little disappointed. Don't get me wrong, because I still very much love this show and these characters, and I'm excited for what the future holds for them, especially after the introduction of something like Checkmate and Salvation, which are such massive pulls for the future of DCU and where James Gunn is taking this universe. But as I'm thinking about it now and talking about it in this review in real time, I'm realizing that my thoughts on this finale very much are in line with where I felt at the beginning of the season. I had, some questions about where the season had been headed and kind of the time it had been taking. Now, I don't feel that in this finale because it's obviously a season finale. We see a couple of the important storylines we have been following through the first two seasons wrap itself up, specifically Chris and Amelia, and then everything going on with ads. Now, look, I am extremely excited for this entire universe. I think the DCU is so bright. I trust James Gunn. I love Superman. I loved Creature Commandos. I have always really liked Peacemaker. But to me, just to be clear on my full thoughts on this finale, it felt like all of those little nuggets and the groundwork that was being laid for the future of the DCU was way more important than the actual Peacemaker storyline. And before you come at me, I completely understand that this is a universe, a cinematic universe with massive characters and massive stories that you can tell for years. But there was something about Peacemaker being this little outlier where it had its own little story that we were following inside this world with these specific characters that I loved so much. And I'm really looking forward to seeing them all interact with all of these characters James Gunn is going to introduce in the future. Even seeing something like Chris and Rick Flag was great this season. But to me, Peacemaker was always at its best when it was just focusing on Peacemaker. Whatever my feelings are on this season finale, I am still very excited for the future of this universe and these characters. With the introduction of things like Checkmate and Salvation, James Gunn can literally take this in a million different directions, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to give us.